We Bare Bears is one of the best shows that came out of Cartoon Network in the 2010s. The premise is simple, a show about 3 bears who are brothers who get into cute and funny hijinks, and that's literally what the show is, for the most part. A really fun and wholesome cartoon. Except when it's not. Every couple episodes in a season, once we've put our guard down, We Bare Bears decides to stop filling our hearts with joy and proceed to absolutely destroy us with the saddest episode. And no other episode exemplifies this more than the origin episodes of each bear. So grab a box of tissues, subscribe, while I cover the heartbreaking lore of We Bare Bears. We begin with the bears heading into a burrito place, where Grizz decides to take on their food challenge, in which if you finish a wide array of their burritos in an hour, he gets the meal free and his pick on the wall of fame. Grizz Bears Food YouTube channel coming soon. The challenge starts and Grizz starts laughing like a smart character in anime, and says he won't even need the full hour, he just needs 30 minutes. And he's right, this man starts devouring every burrito thrown his way, like he's some sort of hungry grizzly bear or something, haha. He finishes all the burritos in the list, then it's time for the final burrito, and it's huge, but Grizz isn't intimidated, so he approaches it knowing full well that he can destroy it. Just like he's gonna destroy the toilet because burritos do that to you. But when Grizz grabs it, he doesn't eat it. Instead, he holds onto it tight and says it's comfortable and safe, then proceeds to run out with it, leaving Ice Bear and Panda with a bill. Over the next week or so, Grizz does everything with the burrito. He takes it to the movies, the amusement park, he even goes to an anime photo booth with it. Dang, I wish I had someone that would treat me like this burrito. Everything is going perfectly for Grizz. But for Ice Bear and Panda, they start growing concerned for their brother. They go online and find an article about people being overly obsessed with food to the point where they either do something like marry the food or become a social recluse. With their worry now at an all-time high, Ice Bear and Panda decide that they have to do something about the burrito. So that night, during a storm, they take the burrito when Grizz is sleeping, except Grizz wakes up and a chase ensues between the brothers. Panda and Ice Bear just trying to escape from Grizz, but he's not far behind them and he's clearly distraught. The chase reaches its climax when Ice Bear and Panda climb an electricity pylon and Grizz is just pleading with them to give back the burrito.
Dudes, why are you doing this? I need to be with Burrito! Burrito completes me!
But it doesn't happen. A bolt of lightning strikes the burrito and it's destroyed. Grizz enters a shocked state when he sees the burrito getting destroyed. His brothers try to talk to him but he is despondent. Then, Panda trips on an element of the burrito and Grizz chuckles. So Panda and Ice Bear have an idea. They start a food fight which snaps Grizz out of the shocked state. The episode seemingly finishes with the brothers walking back to their cave and Grizz asking,
I wonder why I was so obsessed with that burrito.
And if the episode ended there, it would have been fine. Just an average, forgettable episode of We Bare Bears. But the thing is, the episode doesn't end there. Just when you think the episode is about to end, we're shown one more scene, in which rescue workers set up a parameter and a safety net because there's an animal stuck in a tree. You can hear the animals crying from the tree, and it's clearly distressed. So a firefighter climbs up this tree just to show a baby. A baby Grizz.
It's okay, little guy.
Just like that, it all makes sense now. Why Grizz did everything with the burrito, why Grizz saying it was comfortable and safe, why he refused to let go of the burrito, all because it reminded him of a moment of comfort and security he got from the fireman's arm. And when you rewatch the episode, now knowing why Grizz is so attached to the burrito, it makes the episode so much sadder. To the point where you kinda root for Grizz when he tries to get the burrito back, and it hurts watching Grizz re-experience the trauma he got of losing the burrito. It's pretty incredible how this small scene that lasts for less than a minute made this episode of We Bare Bears go from a 6 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10, and the second best episode of the entire series according to IMDb. It's a good lesson on storytelling, in which you don't have to tell your audience everything from the get-go. That if you subvert the audience's expectation and then reveal a perfect twist, you can make a lasting impression. Time for Panda's origin. Now to be completely honest, this origin is the weakest out of all 3. But gosh darn it, this episode doesn't get enough love. It really gets the waterworks going and I think it really does well to put into perspective why Panda is who he is today. So hang on to those box of tissues while I cover the episode called Wake Up, Eat, Sleep. Wake up, eat, sleep. This is the daily life for baby Panda in this animal sanctuary. He repeats this routine over and over and over again. It's boring and lonely, but Panda keeps a positive attitude because frankly, he doesn't know there's more to the world. He befriends everything, or at least he tries to.
Good morning, Spring. Good morning, giant mechanical food chute. Well, hey there, friend. Oh.
One of the workers notices Panda's sad, melancholic state and decides to do something about it. So the next day, as Panda is waiting for his food, something new happens. A break in the routine. Panda introduces himself as Panda 1 and dubs the new toy Panda 2, and they instantly hit it off. Panda is overjoyed with having a friend to do something with, like wake up, eat, sleep. Yeah, even though Panda now has a buddy, there's nothing really to do. But that doesn't get Panda down. He even goes as far to make a necklace for his new friend, just like the one he has. But Panda 2 doesn't see it that way. He's bored and not afraid to say so. He's kind of a rebel, just like me.
What? How can you say that? It's not boring.
Panda 2 doesn't talk at all, because he's a toy. Oh, did you think this was Toy Story? Wrong franchise, y'all. Get it together. But the fact that he doesn't talk is probably my favorite detail in this entire episode. It's because Panda 2 is just a reflection of Panda's deepest thoughts and feelings that he refuses to admit to himself. Panda 2 hears a sound coming from the room beside them and inquires about it, but Panda says he doesn't know what it is. He's tried looking before, but the window is too high for him to see. But Panda 2, that little hooligan, falls forward saying, "I got your back." So Panda climbs on top of him and is introduced to the magic of television. And his life changes forever. Panda falls off his buddy and tells him about the wonders he saw at the magic box. The food, the sights, and the anime. Panda has known this fake world his entire life and is absolutely shocked that there's something beyond it. If you remember from the main timeline of We Bare Bears, Panda is obsessed with anime. Like, he's a full-on weeb with a body pillow and everything. And it's cool to see where it all started. I do think he has an unhealthy obsession with it, but this is coming from the guy who talks about cartoons on the internet. That night, Panda is chilling with his buddy and is content with his life, but there's something that he yearns for, to play with the magic box. But he shrugs off the idea, saying it's too dangerous to escape this room. Panda 2, on the other hand, has some words of wisdom for him. Oi, it's a leap of faith it is.
Can't argue when you put it like that. Magic box, here we come.
I don't know why I made him Scottish, but I think it worked, so let's roll with it. The next morning, Panda 1 and 2 are up nice and early, enacting their plan. They build a ladder, and when the food chute opens, they climb in it and into the inner part of the sanctuary. Panda sees the TV with his little buddy strapped on his back, ready to experience the wonder of television together. But it's off, and he doesn't know how to turn it on. He tries and tries to turn it on, but ultimately fails. Frustrated and not knowing what to do, Panda roams the facility.
Huh? A bigger magic box!
That's right, Panda's new mission is to go touch some grass. As he heads to the door, a worker arrives and the duo is forced to hide in a room with him. The worker notices that Panda is missing from his home and attempts to capture him, but Panda took some inspiration from the dragon warrior himself, Poe, and drops a whole bookcase on him. Panda 1 and 2 use this opportunity to escape and rush to the door, but they can't operate it. They're bears after all. But luckily, in the next room, there's an open window. They quickly try to climb it, but it's too high for them, so Panda 2 offers to give a boost. Panda climbs on top of his friend and gets to the window, and when it's time for Panda to pull up Panda 2, he refuses.
Okay, 2, take my paw. Come on. What are you talking about? I can't leave you behind. Come on, we have to go now.
Panda escapes, but at the cost of his only friend. The friend who showed him that there's more to life. The friend who gave him everything, including his own freedom, so Panda can escape his prison. If nothing else, the friend who was just there for him. Sitting in the back of the truck, Panda looks at his friend one last time. And for the first time, we are shown what Panda is seeing, an anime-fied Panda 2 happy that his friend got away. This isn't a sad moment, but instead a bittersweet one because Panda can finally experience life. When you compare this episode to how Panda is as an adult, you can see the obvious, such as his love for pop culture, but more so how he lives his life. He's always doing something he enjoys, whether it's hanging out with his brothers or simply enjoying a boba tea, but he's always living his best life. And I think he's doing it so his friend's sacrifice wasn't in vain. Tired of crying? No? I think we're all dead inside and are looking for anything to make us feel something, so let's move on to Ice Bear's origin. Ice Bear's origin episode is regarded as the best episode of the entire series, and I agree, but it's not my favorite episode. That has to go to Hurricane Hal. I do think Ice Bear's origin is the saddest, but Carrot, didn't you say Grizz's origin was the saddest in your earlier vid? I did, but I changed my mind, okay? Freaking snitch. So try not to cry while I cover the best and most emotional episode of We Bare Bears. Alone and hungry. Those words describe how Ice Bear feels right now in Arctic Russia. Ice Bear spots a bird and tries to relieve his hunger by hunting it, but he fails. It's clear that Ice Bear is very young here and lacks the skills a polar bear should have. In the distance, a group of hunters and their dogs are roaming around looking for some sort of prey. Ice Bear panics and quickly forgets all about his hunger and hides in a tent that he finds nearby. The tent is empty, but someone is clearly using it, since it has furnishing, but most importantly, there's food cooking. Ice Bear forgets why he ran inside the tent and tries to grab a bite of the food, but is interrupted when the shadow of someone approaches the tent. He quickly hides under the bed and hopes he wasn't noticed, but the man named Yuri begins to chase Ice Bear around with his axe, hoping to get him, but in the kerfuffle trips and injures his leg.
My leg!
Right as he was about to escape, Ice Bear notices the injured Yuri and feels bad for the mess he made and helps the man. Baby Ice Bear is adorable, and I'm willing to fight anyone just to protect him. Even after the help, Yuri tries to get Ice Bear to leave when the sound of hunters arise from outside the tent. Yuri goes to see what's going on and sees Ice Bear hiding in fear, so out of sympathy, he lets baby Ice Bear stay, but only if he agrees to help with the chores. Yuri's first task for Ice Bear is to go fetch him some tea, but his second is to never ever open this chest because it's private and, as Yuri puts it, not for bear. Over the coming weeks, Yuri tries to teach Ice Bear the skills he needs to fulfill his duties, such as cutting wood, cooking, and reading. Looking back at this episode, Yuri didn't even need to teach Ice Bear how to read. He just did it because he thought it would be good for him. Honestly, what a great guy. Love you, Yuri. In the beginning, Ice Bear is terrible at everything, even putting Yuri in danger sometimes with his lack of skills. But eventually, Ice Bear starts to get it, to the point where he helps Yuri not just with the physical chores, but freaking calculus. Freaking calculus. I can't even do calculus. Slowly but surely, the bond between these two grow, and they eventually grow comfortable with each other, to the point where they become a family, father and a son. I wish the video could end here, that way they both get a happily ever after, but I can't because the story doesn't end here. One day, while Yuri's out, Ice Bear's curiosity gets the better of him and he opens the forbidden chest to find a picture of Yuri and his family. Yuri is happy in this photo, unlike his typical cold demeanor. While looking at the photo, Ice Bear notices something. Yuri's daughter has a wooden horse with her, but before Ice Bear could do anything, he hears Yuri approaching from outside and quickly covers up his tracks. The days continue to go on by and the bond between these two continue to grow. So one day, while playing cards, Ice Bear suddenly leaves to bring Yuri something, a gift he made. Yuri opens it and is shocked to find it's a horse just like the one his daughter had. Ice Bear stands overjoyed with himself, thinking he made his father proud, but Yuri is in disbelief, asking how did he know about this, to which Ice Bear showed the picture of Yuri and his family and the open chest. Yuri angrily reaches over to grab the picture, but overcome by his rage, Yuri throws Ice Bear's gift and kicks Ice Bear out. He no longer wants anything to do with Ice Bear. Ice Bear just starts running. He's scared, clearly distraught, and wondering why is his father acting like this, thinking to himself, what did I do wrong? Everything is interrupted when Ice Bear tries to break away as fast as he can, knowing he only has a few moments before the hunters are here for him. But it's too late. Approaching from a distance are the hunters and their dogs. The hunters are getting closer and closer to Ice Bear, ready to capture him, when all of a sudden, a large shadow covers the trapped Ice Bear, and with his axe, Yuri breaks the chain. The two hop on their snowmobiles and a chase begins, with Yuri hoping to get Ice Bear to safety, and just as it seems they're gonna get away, the snowmobile breaks, and the hunters have surrounded the duo. This is it. Ice Bear is done for. On one side, there's a large ocean, and on the other, the hunters. There's nowhere else Ice Bear can go. They're trapped. Knowing that they're surrounded and Ice Bear is scared, Yuri does something that's hard for him. He breaks a piece of ice with his axe and sets it adrift with Ice Bear on it. Just like that, Ice Bear is back where he started, alone and hungry, but not hungry for food, but for the father he had to leave behind. Thanks to Yuri though, Ice Bear now has the skills to take care of himself. And as for Yuri, when he heads back to his tent, he picks up the picture of his family and the gift he got from Ice Bear and places it next to each other, because Ice Bear is his family. The rating for We Bare Bears honestly doesn't get the appreciation it deserves. This entire episode doesn't have that much dialogue to it, with Yuri mostly communicating in grunts and short comments and Ice Bear not being able to speak at all. Yet it manages to tug at the heartstrings, because even with the lack of dialogue, you're made to love both these characters and their relationship, and it hurts seeing them leave each other. The origin stories of the bears is a tragic one. It's a story about abandonment, a story about bravery, and a story about loss. But though their story doesn't have a happy beginning, that doesn't mean it can't have a happy end. I think Uncle Iroh says it best, that life is like a dark tunnel. You may not always see the light,
But if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
eventually, after being lost and alone for who knows how long, the three bears find each other. Don't get me wrong, life is still plenty hard for the bears. The entirety of the show is the bears struggling to find their place in the world. But though they struggle and struggle and struggle, they're not alone. Not anymore. Because the three bears are family. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, and check out the Bluey animated video I made, and let me know if you want to see more of that. Or I'll marry this pack of M&Ms.